I never plan on finishing. I just hit a chunk. I want to introduce you to, from North Carolina, my dear old friend and someone who's had me in tears already once this morning. This is Rich Willey.
To North Texas, which is where I met Dan Fornero. He and I used to hang quite a bit, and I won't go into that. I had this shoulder surgery, rotator cuff surgery. The doctor told me I couldn't play for 3 months, told me not to pick up my horn for 3 months. So I just started writing tunes. In June, I got a phone call from a friend of mine who I used to hang out with in college, and he said that he had the unfortunate circumstance of his parents passing away in the same year. In January, my dad died, and then in September of that year, my mom died, and hers, we didn't see it coming like we did with my dad, so that was really, shook us up. My wife, Janet, she's very supportive, and she knew that, I wanted to do something. His wife said, why don't we make your dream come true? And so, while he lives in North Carolina, he decided to do a big band record of music he had composed. I've written so many tunes and nobody else is playing them. Somebody's got to play these. Woo! I called Micah Benny, who I had studied arranging with in New York. I figured he was too expensive. I said, hey man, do you have any promising students who could write some, big band arrangements? I wrote all these funk tunes. He said, Rich, why don't you just ask me? I told Dan about it. And I said, I'd kind of like to come get a really good big band recording of this stuff. Do you think you could produce a session for me? He said, I'll call you right back. So the first thing he did was find out when Wayne would be in town. It really was the deciding factor for me. I didn't want to do this without him. Yeah. And you can hear why. We got charts done by Micah Benny, Gordon Goodwin, Wally Minko, and Chris Walden.
Dan Fornero called me, and he said, doing a session for this guy in January, I'd like you to play on it. So I said, cool, I'll play on it, be happy to play on it. Then he called me back, I don't know, a month later, 6 weeks later, and he said, I think we need some writing as well. Would you be interested in doing that? And I said, of course, I'd love to do that. So he sent me a few tunes, and I wrote a few tunes, and here we are. We recorded 12 big band songs, complex big band songs, in 3 days over at Conway.
Yeah. So if it's bada, we play one.
The way you and I were blending just then?
That was good.
We're getting a lot of music recorded in just 3 days' time.
We're good. We're everybody good? Yep. We're good. Let's go.
Next.
So the process, we'll run it down as a band. And then we do the rhythm tracks, so we can concentrate on that. And until this morning, we were getting everything in one take.
When we were halfway through that second day, I thought there's no way we can do this, and somehow we did.
This is it's fun and it's also exhausting.
Whew, man, it's hard.
He wrote this, not me. Don't blame me.
I'm a trumpet lughead, so I like getting abused a little bit. So it's it's been really fun.
You really need the right team in place to do something as ambitious as this project, and we certainly had that right.
Yeah.
We had the best people doing it in the best of circumstances. Tommy brought in the best microphones, the best preamps, the best crew working behind the scenes. Everything went right.
That's a great solo.
Tommy Hooten. I knew Tommy at University of South Florida. He's the principal trumpet now in the LA Philharmonic. Your wife Melinda was there. She saw me like, he was phenomenal, man.
Yeah, he brought it.
He did, man. He brought his like A+++ game. Cheers, man.
Oh, no.
Oh, so good.
That was something special. That was fun.
Then we had 34 strings going on at Capitol.
You brought stuff out of me that nobody's ever brought out of me. This is a producer right here.
And when you hit this last concert A flat, ba, 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 wah, I want you to hang on that thing for as many bars as you kind of can, but I want you to decay on it. I want you to let it go down to nothing. Let it just decay.
Dan's the best. You know, he's very smart. He's got great ears. He's got a phenomenal work ethic. And even though he's really committed to his ideas, he's still really amenable to input from others, which is a very rare quality.
I want you to just think about what that music is doing inside, and just let this come through. You know, don't play the instrument. Just play the music.
Thank you for being such a great producer. And he believed in me, you know? You didn't have to do that, but I'm really grateful that you did, man.
Well, you brought it, man.
When we get in a situation where we have this beautiful music with someone who's really committed to it as their own project, it's not being done to feature another artist or anything else. It's all about his music. It's so fun to get to play music for music's sake. That's my favorite thing to do.
You know, I don't write these like scientific, you know, you got to be a genius to understand these tunes. I write tunes that feel good. I mean, I think they feel good. You know, I want tunes that are easy to play, easy to listen to, and that you can improvise on them, and people enjoy themselves, and they're not worn out after they listen to, you know, 2 or 3 tunes. It's fun. It feels good.
I love Rich. He's a great trumpet player. He's got a heart of gold. He's thrilled to be here, as we all are. So it's just a really good synergy of a lot of happy people.
Well, it's great. I mean, Rich is a talented composer, and all the arrangers are, you know, great at their craft. They took his tunes and did something really special with every one of them.
We want to make a record that people would sit down and go, I just want to hear all of this.
They're all a little different. There's nothing, I don't think there's any 2 tunes that are really the same or even similar.
There's rock sections and jazz sections and you know, and reggae and kind of things, and then there's the ballads and all that.
And that part is hip.
Yeah, he wants you to
That
go
is
to A.
hip, man. I love that part. That's one of my favorite parts.
The whole record is amazing. You know, I thought Chris Walden's tune swung its butt off. Gordon's tunes are great, of course. You know, so it's just going to be a phenomenal record.
Man, I think every one of these hits a home run, and you know, largely 90% due to the fact that the arrangements are so good.
You have Michael Abaney in there.
Right.
You've got Gordon Goodwin,
Right?
Wally Minko,
Yeah.
Chris Walden.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to get any duds from those guys. It's
No,
never
man.
going to happen.
They're really they're pieces of art, you know, and they're really, you know, rewarding and satisfying when you get done with it.
And of course, we got the greatest players in LA, which means the greatest players in the world. So the performances are just absolutely outstanding. This is fantastic. It's like, come on, man. Is this for real? And it is for real.
It's a dream band. It's the best bunch of players in town.
It's really been a joy.
He said, I wanted a drummer who doesn't, just make it all about him the whole time. So he just plays the music. I'm like, well, I know the guy for that.
These guys are incendiary, all these players, man.
It's been a wonderful 3 days. I know we're all going to remember this with a lot of affection and enthusiasm.
Been in LA for about 40 years now doing sessions, and you go through the year and you remember certain sessions, certain movie scores, etc. And this is going to be one I'm going to remember for many years.
I'm going to be really proud of this thing, we all should be at the end of it. I think it's really going to be great.
If you don't listen to this, you're a fool, because this stuff is good, man. And it's not because I wrote it. I mean, in spite of the fact that I wrote the tunes, it is really, really good.
Woo!